With Rey Mysterio having no intention of facing his son Dominik and Billie Kay finally having the courage to post a very revealing photo, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for June 23rd. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. When it comes to last week's advertised MMA cage fight on Dynamite, it received a lot of mixed reactions. One notorious AEW critic was less than impressed, as former pro wrestling manager and promoter Jim Cornette had this to say about it on his podcast. 3 rounds, 3 5-minute rounds. For the first 2 minutes they danced, they jabbed, Hager got one straight jab in. At one point, Wardlow gut-wrenched Hager and just tossed him, and Hager got right back up and double-legged him and let him back up. And right there is about as far as they needed to go, because then Hager starts throwing the leg kicks, but Wardlow sells them. You don't sell the leg kicks unless it's a big leg kick, and these weren't. Then with a minute left in the first round, they started punching and it was terrible. Phony punches, slow-mo punches, rotten punches. They were trading like two drunks in a waiting pool, and it was sloppy, and it didn't look like a fight or like wrestling. It didn't look like anything. It looked like two guys trying not to hurt each other. It's not a great match idea if they can't work it. You can go down the list of all of the MMA guys or the high-level amateur wrestlers or the old-school shooters like a Billy Robinson, or people that could have done this, that could work either legit pro wrestling style or work MMA style. It would be snug, it would be tight, it would be a lot of grappling, not many strikes. Especially not the face, because those are the hardest to work. But you could have guys that know how to work a contest, just not these two. It made both of them look like klutzes, and that's not the job of a good booker, to make your talent look like klutzes. Wardlow's punches were destroying Hager's elbows because he wasn't anywhere near his head. Then Wardlow popped out of nowhere and did a Hurricane Rana in the middle of an MMA fight, and Hager just lost his legs off of his neck, so he just did a forward roll with it like 2 seconds later. Then within seconds, Hager did a sloppy rock bottom on Wardlow and kept the triangle and just choked him out flat. Just choked him out. Boom, done. While the first jab from Hager connected with some force, everything else in the cage looked egregious. Despite the presentation appearing legitimate, the fact that Wardlow was choked out in little time after unimpressive action made this bout forgettable. As we can hope, this was the last quote-unquote MMA match in AEW. With former women's tag champion and WWE star Billie Kay looking to make her mark on wrestling outside the company, she has posted a photo with the caption, "This picture's over 2 years old and I finally have the courage to post it, celebrating myself completely this year, mind, body, soul." We'll have to wait and see what is next for Kay, as she has already filed a trademark for the name Jessica McKay, and her tag team partner has filed for the team name The Inspiration, according to PW Insider. NXT newcomer Franky Monet is looking to make a splash in WWE, and in her Sportskeeda interview, she was asked about teaming up on screen with her husband John Morrison. "I think that we have unconditional chemistry that cannot be denied on screen in the ring, you know? But I want to make a point of having the WWE Universe learn who I am on my own as well. So I think that this time in NXT for me is very important. I'm being reintroduced to some fans who've never heard of me, and I just think it's important that they get to know who I am on my own first. So eventually, absolutely. I can't wait for Franky Drip Drip, but I'm also just really excited to find my way and have everyone know who I am and what I bring to the table on my own as well." When it comes to SmackDown, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi talked with Steel City Comic-Con about the bloodline angle between Roman Reigns and his sons, Jimmy and Jey Uso, saying, "Well, first of all, I'm proud of them. We know where they come from, what bloodline that they represent, and these boys here in Roman, they're all trained professionally, and to be able to see your family members headline SmackDown, headline WrestleMania, headline Monday Night Raw, it's a beautiful thing. It's prideful for us, because they came in during the time after the mighty Yokozuna. If you guys haven't had the chance to see the absolutely tremendous documentary that WWE put together in the mighty Yokozuna, check it out. But these guys come from a family behind us, from a family that's from Umaga to Yokozuna, The Rock, I mean the list goes on, and to be able to see your kids and your nephew out there doing it out there and representing and holding it down, it's a beautiful thing. I think these storylines they're going through as of now, I think it's beautiful. It's not a story that's really them. They've been fighting like that since they were kids in the backyard, and now to be able to do that on camera and get paid for it, I'd say it's a beautiful thing. Samoan Dynasty is winning. With Reigns and the Usos being the focal point of the blue brand, it's clear that this story is just getting started. Following his shocking release from WWE, Braun Strowman has taken to Instagram to post a picture of his new look, writing diet update since I haven't posted a progress pic in a bit, trying a cleanish bulk. After 5 meals today, I was 357 pounds on the scale, on my way to 370, 375-ish, then gonna turn it into granite. Told y'all I ain't playing around. There's no telling where he'll end up, as we'll have to see where Strowman goes after his 90-day non-compete clause runs out. Becoming the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Rey and Dominik Mysterio have made history as a father-son duo. Speaking to Metro, Rey stated that while teaming with his son is a blessing, he has no intention of facing him. We actually talked about this a while back when my son started to train. The more and more we got to spend time together in the ring or outside the ring, it came to the point where me and my son were like, there's no need. The connection here is so beautiful. The love, more than father and son. I think we're like best friends. For the moment, there's no time for us to even be thinking how would it be like to face each other. We're enjoying such a great moment right now with our personal lives within our wrestling careers. For me, it's a complete blessing before I end up retiring to have been able to share these moments with my son. So that thought of possibly facing each other, I think, was thrown down the trash a while back. CM Punk and Brock Lesnar both had a connection to Paul Heyman, as they would face off at SummerSlam in a highly anticipated bout. During a Q&A on Twitter, Punk was asked if he and Brock called the match off the cuff from start to finish, as Punk replied had ideas for high spots and filled in the blanks. Most fans remember the real-life scenario turned storyline where Lita cheated on Matt Hardy with Edge, as the rated R superstar himself was married at this time. Lita touched on this with Renee Paquette, as the WWE Hall of Famer talked about how she is still getting hate online over what happened. It's still talked about. My relationships are commented on a regular basis, on my Instagram still or social media. Meanwhile, all of the men involved, anything not controversial like with Punk or Edge or Matt, I guarantee they don't get asked about it. I know they don't get asked about it because they're dudes. And it's that double standard thing. I think at this point that's the problem. What I hold on to, feeling the double standard. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.